to know that there's a microphone in your face and people are listening. You know, a lot of people freeze up, you know, but a lot other people, you know, are completely comfortable and, you know what I'm saying, relax, knowing that they're on air. You know what I'm saying? Where do you think that comes from for you?
I've always been the kid that talks a lot.
Yeah.
I've always been a person who just talks his talk. And one of my goals in life was always to get paid to be who I am. So for me, it's just like
that's what's up. Yeah.
Like I'll be honest, I've definitely toned down my personality over the last couple of years, just for like different reasons. Life happens, you know. You just kind of get in a space where you kind of chill out a little bit.
Right.
But I just feel like why not? Like, what I have? I know it's crazy. A lot of people are fearful of speaking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's public speaking.
They say public speaking is like, you know, bigger fear than like, you know, getting chased after a dog or, you know, getting shot or stabbed or something. Like, yo, public speaking, like more people, you know, because I'm more comfortable in radio than I am like being on stage. You know, like I run from the stage sometimes.
Really?
Like, yeah. I mean, like the room is like there's nobody in here. It's just the phone and the music. It's easy for me to kind of like zone in. But it's like I remember they brought me when I first started at K104. Skip Cheatham came and got me. He was the program director, and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna bring you on stage and you're gonna introduce Ludacris." And I'm looking out there at the Summer Jam crowd. It's like, you know, 25,000 people. It's like, man, I don't sing. I don't dance. I'm not a comedian. I don't say nothing funny. Like, I'm not like the hype guy. You know, I'm like the more like just the host.
Mellow and cool.
I'm the host. That's it, you know. I just say what I see, you know. And so he was like, all right, we're going to bring you on stage. And I was like, all right. And he turned around and like, you know, I was following him and he turned this way. I turned the other way, went the other way, man. I was just like, that's not my favorite. Like lights. I can do smaller. I'm more comfortable classroom with kids. You know what I'm saying? I can be more personable with them, and you know, tell stories and share experience and wisdom, stuff like that. But yeah, the stage is not really. You know, I don't like cameras either. Like I don't know what to do with my hands. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. You know. So
fun fact before I did radio, I was also like an MC and host for events.
Okay.
So I was doing like fashion shows. You know, like different events, like in college. Like during college, I did like 50, 60 shows.
Damn.
I did a concert at my school.
Okay.
And then I used to host events as well. So I've always just tried to push the boundaries of what communication can take me.
Yeah, that's dope. Dope.
Yeah, but I would say for me, I'm not really afraid about being on stages. More so because it's like, what's the worst that can happen kind of thing.
Man, yeah.
Like, my energy speaks for me.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at the end of the day, I'm not really concerned with oh my God, like there's mad people here. I just focus, like, I don't even look at the people sometimes. I just look past all the people to like a back point,
right,
and just vibe out with that back point.
Yeah. That's why I wear sunglasses a lot, just because it's hard for me to, you know, look directly into a camera if I'm talking, or, you know, who am I looking at? So you sitting for a gym full of kids, man, at a you know, career day or something, and a lot of these kids are just like, look, bro, we don't want to hear what you got to say. You know, you're not cool, this, that, and the other. Just like it just give you that dumb look, stare, and you be like, oh, my God. And then you lose train of thought because it's like you worried about this, you know, like you said, energy and all that. And so, yeah, like with smaller crowds, it's easier for me, man, for sure. But I like the challenge as well, too, you know, like the way that you're talking about being able to connect, you know, with your, or being able to communicate. So I'm learning that with the internet, learning how to understand that, man, I'm going to post something and it's going to be out here for the entire world to see, whereas, you know, I'm more used to the radio where it's like, yo, it's just the people in my city that I know, that know me. So when I say something or they hear something that I say, they know exactly who I am and, you know what I'm saying, and where my position is, you know what I'm saying, as far as my platform. Like the internet, people can take a piece of something that you say and then, man, they don't know who you are or what you are, and they posting it. When you look stupid, you know, you pick your nose or you do something crazy on camera, man, you make a crazy meme. So it's like, you know, super like conscious of what you're putting out, you know what I'm saying?
I would say that the way that the world is going is I would say you kind of can't care as much as you used to. More so because back in the day, like, I'm not saying there's not repercussions to what you say. Like, definitely you have a responsibility, especially as a professional in the industry. Mm-hmm. You have a responsibility for what you say and how you say it. Yeah. But nowadays, like, people are looking for any reason to kind of just hear you, see you, feel you. Yeah. So they don't care if you're not perfect. Like, there's like, you don't know what's gonna take you to the next level with this like platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what conversation, what podcast, what episode, what quote, what clip's gonna go.
Yeah.
So you just gotta go and just show.
Right.
And like basically what you say. Don't
see the show.
Don't see the show. Be the show.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same thing. It's kind of like, don't be too much in your head about it. Just be you.
Well, the thing is, what I've trained myself to do, because I work on radio, and I told you this, yesterday, is I picture myself where my listeners are. I know the streets. I know the city. You're driving and you're in traffic. You're on 635, or you're coming from the Mavericks game, or you're leaving the baseball game. The Rangers won tonight. You just left the Chris Brown concert. You're on your way to the Southside Ballroom to see, Lucky. So I'm envisioning myself in those places, and that's how I'm trying to connect. Whereas the internet, man, I don't know where these people are watching it. So I'm learning how to be in more than one place than right here, right now. Because the radio teaches it, look, right now something's going on and something's coming up. Whereas, man, the internet, it's forever. You see what I'm saying? And so that part is, I'm learning how to be effective in that space. And like you said, that's why when I get interviews or when I'm doing, I say a lot of the same things, because, man, this is what my creed is. This is what I'm really standing on. Don't see the show, be the show. All faith, no fear, share the light. These are the space that I'm in. So try to just stick to those, pillars of my gospel, you know what I'm saying? So
I love it. Mic check, man. Y'all know the face, y'all know the name. Y'all tuned into the World's Realest Podcast, Talk Ain't Cheap Podcast, also by yours truly, Mr. It's a Movie, Clear's Real Talk. And like y'all know, in traditional Talk Ain't Cheap fashion, I do not introduce my guest. My guest already showed you who he is, but like I said, guest, please introduce yourself.
Why? Look, you know who, you know what it do. Catdaddy, make it stop. Welcome to that nightlife show. That's right. I host the nightlife every night in the DF Dub right here on K104. Like I said, we run the soundtrack for the city. I'm blessed just to be the host. You know what I'm saying? This is the music y'all pick. These are the tickets that y'all want. And this is the games that we play. And this is how we do it every day. Welcome to the nightlife, man. I'm glad you made it out to the studio, man. What you think, bro? What you think about it?
I think the studio's fire. Yeah. I think your resume and your reputation precedes you.
Excellent.
I did some homework on you, and you'll see that as we go through the episode.
All right.
And your energy is infectious. I think that's something that you should definitely lean more on as well. I don't know if you, and I think it's okay to be the cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think back in the day, it was all about being the high energy, high personality. Well, nah, we 30 plus now.
Right.
It's okay to be onk. It's okay to be onk. Yeah. The shorties like onk these days. They don't need. They think onk got old money. That's what it is.
That's seasoning, baby. That's what that is.
Come on,
that's seasoning, baby.
You heard me.
Sprinkle some sauce. You come around anywhere around me, you gonna smell the sauce. Don't worry, man.
So let's start it off real quick. You are one of 12 children.
Yes.
What was your upbringing like for you being one of 12 kids?
You ever been to the military? That's how it was run, like military, man. Like everything was really disciplined, really strict. We up at this time. We eat breakfast at this time. You and you. You clean up. You and you. You take out the trash. Y'all get your little brother and little sister ready for school. So it was a lot of outside playing. There wasn't a lot of inside toys. You know what I'm saying? Action figures and none of that. We were outside playing wiffle ball and basketball and football, team sports year round. Church every Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, shirt tucked in on the front pew. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's how we grew up. Just a lot of vacations. We did a lot. We didn't have a lot. If I can put it to you like that. We did a lot. There was more experiences than shopping. We didn't go out to eat a lot. It was just good home cooking down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, man. And so we had a lot of leftovers. It was amazing food, but it wasn't no going out to eat. There wasn't a lot of, like, we thought going out to a buffet was, man, a buffet? Bro, we pull up at the Mr. Gaddy's or, you couldn't tell us nothing at Ryan Steakhouse or Golden Corral. That was it. But yeah, man, just always putting on a show, man, with older brothers and older sisters. There's always somebody that's going to laugh at your jokes and teach you new tricks. And then there's, somebody always younger than you to teach and to show off for. So I think that's the biggest thing is from being in a big family is like, man, you already have an audience. There's already people to get along with and learn how to, um, like, you gotta have patience, man, with a big family like that. So a lot of stuff really doesn't get on my nerves, right now. Like, people can't really, change my energy like that. Like, I don't, that's, you trying to, bother me? Sorry, bro. Like, I got 12 brothers and sisters that used to get on my nerves. Like, I'm not worried about you, so really made you tough. And, um, man, it was just fun. Like, always having somebody to play with and just go outside and get into trouble with, you know what I'm saying? And Louisiana is like always fireworks and football and, um, yeah, man, vacation. Vacation was the funnest. Like, in an Astro van with like 7, 8 kids and my dad, it was just, yeah. The studio with it. Yeah, yeah. Live on the radio and then live on the podcast.
Man, I'm blessed to be here. Shout out to my bro Big Eli for making me come out here and just vibe with him and the beautiful people at K104. I love K104, man. If I move out here, I want to be a part of y'all family, man.
That's what's up. Yeah, you auditioning people right now. You see your boy is clearly trying to send in an audition tape, Eli. Yeah, we might just slide him over here and be like part of the nightlife show.
Man, I'm here. So my next question for you is, what was it like being raised in Baton Rouge in the 80s and the 90s? Because like Baton Rouge is an interesting place. Like, right, we know Baton Rouge now, like from like NBA YoungBoy and all those acts. Mm-hmm. But like, if you're not from Louisiana, like, what is Baton Rouge like?
I don't know, bro. I didn't really realize that until I left. You know what I'm saying? The questions you asking me and then the way you propped it up is, I didn't realize until I left, because that's really all I knew. Like, I grew up less than a mile away from both of my grandparents. So my parents grew up less than 2 blocks away from each other. And so, we were super tight, super close, just in proximity, just physically, with all my family. I got 12 brothers and sisters, but my dad is one of 9. My mom is one of 5. 4 or 5, Uncle Terry, Vera, Terry, Sandra, Nana, my mom, 4 of them. So yeah, that was, Baton Rouge was dope, man. I mean, I was in the pool every summer. We lived in like a neighborhood pool. I lived probably, I don't know, half a mile from my elementary school. So that's the only thing I knew. From kindergarten to 8th grade was one school. And then high school, Baton Rouge High, go Bulldogs. Everything was, man, LSU football was the main thing, bro. Like Mardi Gras, we'd take a trip to New Orleans. We would always go to New Orleans 2-3 times a year, because that's where my dad is from, a lot of family in New Orleans. So Mardi Gras was always big time down there. Anything down in the quarter in New Orleans, Riverwalk and all that, Coffee Call. And, man, Baton Rouge was just full of flavor. I didn't realize what it was. It was just how we grew up and what we were doing. I didn't even think about it until I got to Dallas, and I was like, damn, like all the sauce is back home. You know what I'm saying? It's just where I'm, it was just a little bit more, just older and just more seasoned, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, shoot, it was just good food, man, good food. Everything was a party, bro. Like, everything was a party, bro. Somebody's birthday, some holiday coming up. It's, Christmas was real big on my family. We did decorations, we still do, but yeah, man, just everything was just like, once again, not what you had, but what you did and who you were with. Like, that was really how we grew up. Like, yo, we didn't have, there wasn't a whole lot we was bragging about we had. It was just, man, good times, with a BB gun in the backyard, chasing squirrels and slingshots and running in the ditch. Like, we didn't, that was just fun to collect cans and go trade them in, like, riding go-karts and, yeah, man, we just growing up, I guess, you know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
Yeah.
So, at what point did you realize that you had a talent or a knack for speaking?
Let's see. A knack for speaking. There's a few hundred stories I could tell you, bro, on something like that, where people ask you a question like this, you think of people that you looked up to, family members that would, speak or announce. I always loved getting in front of class and, doing oral presentations or hosting the talent shows or reading the school announcements, trying to read,
Shout out to the morning announcement
yeah, the
readers. That's
morning
facts.
announcements. Like any chance to just say what I thought out loud, I really, just did that. Even as like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, I just felt like something funny in the class, I should say like, "Hey, okay," make a quick joke back to the teacher. Just like a teacher's pet. Just say something funny that people gonna laugh at. Not to be a distraction, but just to kind of narrate. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on. Uh, Man, bro, like you keep wearing them same shit, whatever. Just, you see what I'm saying? Like just something, and I'm trying to think of, certain instances, and I can think of some, the longer that I talk, I think of some things. But I remember in fourth grade, we had a fundraiser, and it was for Muscular Dystrophy Association, for the MDA. And one of the incentives was if you raised at least $200, you would get a bike as part of your congratulations. And so they give you the little milk carton, and it's got the little thing on the side of what the MDA represents, and you could put your money in the slot if you know. And I just thought that you just like leave it in the kitchen table, and your mom and dad just put a couple extra quarters or whatever when they get home from the day, and over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll bring the carton back in. But my older brother was like, "Nah, man, you got to get your bike, bro. Like $200, man. That's $200 is easy to go get." And I'm like, what do you mean easy to go get? He's like, "Bro, just go door to door and ask people, tell them that you're collecting money for the kids." And I'm like, kind of shy, like, "Bro, I'm not walking door to door. Like, what are you talking about?" He's like, "Bro, trust me, this is easy. Put your uniform on, and I'm gonna have mom drop us off about a mile from the house, and we're gonna weave our way down the streets of the neighborhood. We'll end up back at the house." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever, bro." So we get out there, and he's like, "Look, tuck your shirt in. You got your uniform on. Walk in, knock on the door, introduce yourself. Tell them who you are. Tell them that you go to school at St. Thomas More. Tell them that you're raising money for MDA. Tell them what this money is going to do for the kids that you're raising money for. Tell them what the money is going to do for you. If you get $200, that you'll get a bike." And then you just let them say yes or no. And if they want to, you know what I'm saying, if they want to give you money, then it's the worst thing they can say is no. And I was like, all right. So what he did was just let me know, like, find a connection, find a way for body language and for, the way you speak, sound like a professional, and try to make a quick connection. And you know what I'm saying, find a common denominator. And that way, you know what I'm saying, they feeling you a little bit with what you're doing, and you giving them the opportunity. If they say no, that's okay. And so what it did is just created, like a new confidence in me. I don't know who these people are, and this, dang, I'm just gonna knock on some random door. Who's gonna open it? You don't know what they look like, what they got going on, if they cooking, if it's a kid's gonna run, if they got dogs barking and stuff like that. So it kind of just groomed you to be ready for different personalities, but the blueprint was the same for what I was gonna say. And so it allowed me to kind of like bounce off. "Hey, what's up, lady? Ooh, you cooking in there? Man, that smells really good. How you doing? My name is Clyde. I'm collecting money for MDA, and this is really good cause for the kids, man. A lot of kids, they're not built like me. They have issues with their muscles, and a lot of times they go to the hospital and they need help with their medical bills. So we're collecting money for them kids, and part of the incentive for me is if I collect $200, I get a bike. So I was just passing through, and I wanted to see if you wanted to donate for a good cause and help me out. I'm trying to get a bike, so I don't have to, walk to school anymore, so I can ride to school. But if you have a couple extra dollars, that would be great. If 50 cents, whatever you can afford, I appreciate you, just opening the door and spending time with me." And that just created a different confidence. So, man, within like a day or two, I had the money, I had the bike, and my brother was like, "See, that's all it takes, man. Is you can't have fear. You can't be scared to talk to somebody. You got to have that confidence." So, yeah, I think that was one of the bigger lessons that I learned, and then I think after that, it kind of, gave you the green light to just kind of talk to anybody and feel comfortable about it.
Most definitely. So so you were hustling, basically finding ways to go and communicate, build confidence, so on and so forth. How did that navigate you into McDonald's?
Oh shoot! So yeah, my same brother used to work at McDonald's. My brother Paul, and he's 4 or 5 years older than me. And he would come home with checks, bro. And it wasn't even a lot of money, like looking back at it, but it was like $100, $200, a paycheck. And I was just like, dang, like you get to go buy whatever you want with your own money. Like you went and made your own money by showing up at work. Now you can go to the mall and go buy shoes or go buy a jersey or go buy a hat or treat yourself to a nice meal. I just was so infatuated with how he just went to work and put on a uniform and then came back with money. And so I went to fill out an application on my 16th birthday. My 16th birthday, I was at the fucking McDonald's with the application. And the guy looked at the application, the manager looked at the application, he's like, "Oh, you're Paul's brother." And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, he didn't ask me no more questions. He's like, "When do you want to start?"
That's dope.
He was like, "When do you want to start?" And I was like, "Bro, I just turned 16. He's like, "All right, cool. Here's your orientation date. You show up, you get your uniform, you fill out this information, and you'll be in here 2 or 3 weeks. You'll start." And so when I was 16, I started right away at McDonald's. And then they put you on the grill, so I was flipping burgers and doing the buns. You know what I'm saying?
And while you were flipping burgers and doing the buns, did you realize like, all right, this is not what I'm meant to do, or were you kind of like just happy to have a job?
Man, I was just happy to have a job. And then it was new coworkers that I didn't go to school with, that weren't people in my family, people from different parts of the neighborhood that I didn't know. And they were older people too. My managers were 25, 30 years old. So that work environment was a new deal for me. Being a part of a team. Hey, you're doing big meat on that side. No, Diddy, you doing meat on that side. I'm over here working nuggets and fries. Hey, make sure you keep our ketchup and all that, and we'll send it to the front. We got a routine here, teamwork. You need a night off. Hey, man, can you work for me? So that part of it was really cool for me, learning that aspect of a job. And McDonald's made it really easy, man. They were real flexible with your schedule because I was in school, of course. And that was really cool for me, man. But man, I was quick with that shit, bro. Like I got really quick, learned how to navigate through the grill really quick, man. And then I stayed up late at night. I was working till like 1 o'clock in the morning on school nights. That's a whole nother story.
Get into it.
Yeah, and our manager would go get us 40s, like our manager would go get us. He would be like, "What y'all want?" We'd be like, Old English and St. Ives. That was back like 92, 93, 94. So we was like Old English and Mad Dog. Yeah, Strawberry Hill. Like after this, like on a school night, man, it was wild. So yeah, but that was a good time for me. I was working at McDonald's, man.
So how did you pivot from the flat top and the grill and the fries to being able to be talking on the mic at the drive-thrus?
Okay, so yeah, this is the $1 million story, man. So I'm on the grill. Like I said, once you learn the routine, now you can cut up. You know how to bounce back and forth with your coworkers. You know who to flirt with. You know what I'm saying? Your manager was on your ass about something. And so, man, I worked with some jokesters, man. Like, dog, the people that I used to work with, they were just straight clowns. And so, there's 3 headsets when I worked at McDonald's. There was the headset at the first register that took the order. Then there was another headset on the grill where you could hear them talk to each other. So if you said you don't want ketchup on your burger, I didn't need for you to punch it in. I already heard you say it. So I'm already on no ketchup. I'm making it as you speak. That's how, the technology was back then. So, and then there was another microphone and earpiece for the person that passed the food. So we could all talk to each other. So there's 2 buttons. One button talks to the outside, which really only one person is supposed to do that, the person that's taking the order. Then the other button is you talk to the crew. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what did he say, Sprite, on that one? What did he say? Hold on. Wait, did he say, questions about whatever? Hey, don't make that. They're going to drive off or what, you can tell. But, they would say stuff only that the inside could hear to fuck with you. Like, yeah, welcome to McDonald's. Hurry up, bitch. Like, but it was really just us that could hear that. You see what I'm saying? So they would clown. And so So my manager was like, man, you want to clown, bro? I'll put you in the drive-thru. You can talk to everybody that comes through, because clearly, like, I was, you know, I knew how to work the microphone. No diddy. Like, I just knew how to keep it, keep it calm and get the order out and make sure everything, and still have fun and entertain. And so they put me in the drive-thru, right? And, they show you you take the order, and then you take the money, and then you send them to the next window. And then when you're not taking the order and taking the money, you go wash dishes. So that was the routine. That's all you did. Wash dishes and take the money. And so, like, after 2 weeks, my manager called me in the office, right? He's like, hey, what are you doing in the drive-thru? And I thought I was in trouble. I didn't know what was going on. He said, man, people have been requesting you in the drive-thru.
Wow.
And I was like, what? He's like, well, when you're not here, people notice that you're not here. And they're like, yo, where's the guy that's normally here on the drive-thru? And that, once again, gave me another, like, boost of confidence that I'm doing something right, and I need to just keep staying in the lane. So then, hey, welcome to McDonald's, home of the Big Mac with 2 all-beef patties and the special sauce. Go ahead, glance over that menu, order when you're ready. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like another ticket to talk. Like, I didn't, that was just an excuse to just run my mouth and just to cut up. But I also learned how to be responsible, too. Some people, they just want their food. They don't want that, like, clowning and hoopla. They just want, yeah, I know what I want. I know how much it costs. I'm trying to get out of here. Other people, they don't care. They want to cut up. Some kids, they're cutting up with you, so you give them free Happy Meal toys. Or your homeboy wants to come through and get all the Olympic cups, so you just hooking people up in the drive-thru and just throwing extra nuggets in the bag and shit like that. Like, it was a whole operation we had. I had a homeboy used to sell weed in the drive-thru.
That's crazy.
And the password was extra lettuce. So people would come through the drive-thru and be like, yeah, let me get a chicken nuggets extra lettuce. I'm like, chicken nuggets don't come with lettuce. What the hell? It was a lot of fun, man. I really, really grew up a lot, learned a lot from a bunch of clowns, and I was fortunate to, work probably, I don't know, it's probably a half mile from the house. Sometimes I would walk to work, walk home. Sometimes I'll walk home drunk because of the 40s and stuff we was
And the Mad Dog.
And then, bro, I would like, man, I can't believe I'm telling you this. So, bro, I would take like the patties, like the 1/4-pound patties, from the freezer. People would be at my house for like a barbecue and they'd be like, man, your burger's round in it. Bro, we would have like the pancake batter. Like, people would come to my house and my mom would make the pancakes with the McDonald's batter. And they'd be like, man, these pancakes taste just like McDonald's. I had all the Olympic cups, bro, from like the Olympic team. I had all that, man. Any of the toys, all the Batman movies. I mean, we had all of that, bro. Yeah, I had the hot fudge sundae at the house, bro. Like, all the cookies. Like, McDonald's was really dope, man. And then so I'm taking orders one night, bro. And this guy comes through the drive-thru, and he's like, wait a minute, that's you on the intercom, son? I said, yes, sir. He said, what are you doing in the drive-thru at McDonald's? I was like, man, I don't know, bro. I was on fries, bro. They gave me a promotion, man. I was cooking nuggets last week. Now they got me in the drive-thru. I'm thinking this is a promotion. He said, no, what I mean is, bro, you need to be on the radio. So 17 years old, he offered me a job at a radio station. You know what I'm saying? A guy named Danny Dean. And so, man, every time I tell that story, and I'm so thankful for McDonald's, and, man, bro, like, dude could have went to Burger King that night. Dude could have went to, Taco Bell. I could have been off. I could have been on lunch break. I could have been, an asshole. And so, just that moment teaches you, man, like, stay in it, understand, like, give yourself a chance. Give yourself the opportunity. Like, the blessings are going to come, like, you just have to pray that you recognize them and handle them with the right care, and fertilize them right. And the more I tell the story, it's really not about me. It's about him. Him seeing something in me and knowing that he could put me in a position and taking that opportunity to extend that baton to me and say, yo, you got something, I'm going to trust you with it. You see what I'm saying? So I'll always, never let him down, just because he was the first one to really believe in me and see something in me that, I may or may not have seen in myself, but just to recognize the talent that he could coach and fertilize, and just for that split second, 30-second order in the drive-through, bro. Like, just absolutely amazing.
Most definitely. And you also took radio classes in high school.
Yeah.
So what was that process like?
So that was the radio teacher that came through. A guy named Danny Dean. So he comes through the drive-through. He says, "Wait, I know you, right?" He's like, "Yo, I know you go to Baton Rouge High." So he says, "We have, the radio program at Baton Rouge High. I can put you on, and that you come to class, you'll be on the radio. We teach you how to run the equipment, and it's a classic soul station. So it's Al Green, Aretha Franklin, Four Tops. Rest in peace. My man just passed away today. The last.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, it's right there on the paper. I forgot his name. Duke, was it Duke?
You Duke for care.
Yeah.
For car.
So yeah, so I used to play him, man. I would go to Sixth Hour, and that's how I got the name Catdaddy. I went to class, and then that's what I'm playing, classic soul, and they would have a script for us to read. So you go to Sixth Hour, you're in math, or my school was arts magnet school. So some people went to like radio, TV. Some people went to drama. Some people went to stage and sound tech and culinary school, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I was in the radio portion. So you get to class, and there's a script for you to read, just like this, like the clock we have in here. Every 10, 15 minutes, you're going to talk. You're going to back sell the songs you just played. You're going to tease the songs you're about to play, and you're going to give them a liner for a PSA or for, something like that. And so I got to class, and there's a script. Hi, that was blank. And you say James Brown if you just played James Brown. Coming up next, AM 1260 KBRH, we have Diana Ross, and we have, the Four Tops, and we have Sam Cooke coming up. Keep it locked, AM 1260 KBRH. And so, after a week of that, I told the teacher, I said, "Hey, man, I got to put a little sauce on this script, bro. Can I read? Do I have to say everything on the script? Do I have to read it, or can I play around a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Let me hit it up." He's like, "All right, don't go crazy." And so then I would come on and be like, AM 1260 KBRH, your home for solid gold soul. It's your boy checking in for Sixth Hour. Man, I got, and then so we just run down the music. It's pretty simple. The blueprint is there. I know what songs I'm going to play. I know what time it is. I know what the liners is. So let me just try to make it different every time and make it exciting. And so after 2 months of being in class on the radio, he comes and tells me he wants to put me on Saturdays. He said, "Man, you really like this, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love this shit." He's like, "I want to put you on Saturdays." And I'm like, "We don't have school on Saturday." He said, No, I'm gonna pay you. You'll get paid, and it's only $5 an hour, but it's a 3-hour shift. It'll be the Rhythm Request show, and you'll run it, and I'll show you I'll give you a key to the studio, and we'll trust you with that. You can be responsible with that. And I was like, "All right." And I was like, "Well, can I come up with a name? Because I don't want to get on here and tell everybody, yeah, this is Randy coming in." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "What do you want to call yourself?" And I'm like, I don't know, but I don't want to say my name. I don't want it to fit something more for the format, So he's like, "All right, well, run it by me before you do it, and then, we'll see what's up." So I go to my 7th hour class, and I'm like telling my friends, my class, I'm like, "Yo, they about to give me my own show on Saturday." They're like, "What?" They all high-fiving and dapping me up. And I'm like, "But y'all got to help me come up with a name. I got to come up with a name to call myself." And they were like, okay. What about Joe Cool? Or what about Radio Randy? And so we just coming up with just brainstorming. This one girl was like, "What about Catdaddy?" And I was like, "Damn, that's perfect." It's kind of flirty. You know what I'm saying? It's slick with the vibe for the classic soul music. You know what I'm saying? It kind of fits my personality. Just kind of slick and cool. And it's, I was like, "That's perfect, Catdaddy." So I went and asked my radio teacher. I said, "It's cool if I call myself Catdaddy?" He was like, "I like that, Catdaddy. Let's do it." So that was it. So I worked on Saturdays. I did my shifts during the week. And then I worked on Saturday, every Saturday. And when I got my report card, they would give me a paycheck. At 17 years old, bro. At my high school. Absolutely crazy. And so, that was all because of McDonald's. That's that same guy. That same guy seen something in me and gave me the opportunity, and I just wanted to hey, let me do it. You know what I'm saying? And so I did that even after I graduated. I still worked for the radio station at my high school for another, another year maybe. You know what I'm saying?
And you also went to college.
Oh, yeah.
And you did radio in college as well.
I did radio while I was in college, not at my college. So once I was already experienced, I didn't feel like I needed to go to school for it. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm already have a job. Like I'm already working and I'm making money. So I don't need to go somewhere where they're gonna teach me how to do this. I'm already in the game. So I went to school for business, management, marketing, and just basically just to be there. It wasn't like I was trying to do anything. I just thought like you go to college after high school. So that's what I did.
So how did you get your opportunity to join K104 right at 17?
So because all that was in Baton Rouge, all that happened in Baton Rouge, and so I worked for another station in Baton Rouge too, station called Max 94.1, and so that's where I was at when I got the opportunity to work in K104. So. Did you want to hear about the Baton Rouge or how I got to K1?
I mean, this is your episode of Talk Ain't Cheap, brother.
Okay,
there's gems in every conversation.
There's some crucial elements in this bridge between my high school radio station and Max 94.1, my first commercial radio station where we put listeners on the radio and we gave away tickets and we were involved with concerts and community and stuff like that. The other one was just I'm in the box for an hour, 3 hours a week, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? But this next one was, the hip-hop station just came on in Baton Rouge right when I graduated, 96, 90, I graduated 96, so I think it came on 97 is when it came on, or late 96, but either way. So there was a guy that worked for the high school radio station. He was a program director, a guy named Rob Pear, and he was also on the morning show for the hip-hop station with a guy named Guy Brody. It was Guy Brody and Robbo. And so after I realized that he was working there, because, I was just paying attention. I'm like, damn, that's the same guy. Like, what the hell? He was the morning show? So I was like, yo, I want to go over there and work with you, bro. How do I get on over there? He's like, put together an air check, basically like a 3-4 minute demo reel of what you do, of what you've been doing. That's easy. You're already doing it. You're already in. Just record. And then at the end of the shift, just take like 3-4 good minutes. And then I'll give it to him. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I put it together, put the tape together, and he dropped it off with a guy named Al J. Wallace. So he drops it off with Al J, and I'm thinking Al J's just going to call me. Like, man, McDonald's hired me on the spot. This dude came and drugged me out the drive-thru to work on my radio. So I'm thinking this is just going to be like, cut. Hey, there you go. I'm here. And so I call Al J. I say, hey, man, did you get my demo? This is Catdaddy from Baton Rouge High. Did you get my demo tape? He's like, oh, yeah, I got it. I haven't listened to it yet, but, I'll check it out and I'll give you a call. 2 weeks go by. No call. I'm thinking, dang, what is he tripping on? He told me he was going to listen to it. I'm thinking everybody's on my tip. You know what I'm saying? So 2 weeks go by, and I call him again, say, Al J, this is Catdaddy. Have you listened to my tape yet? He's like, nah, man, I haven't listened to it, bro. I'll give you a call when I check it out. So like 2 months go by. And he picks up the phone one time. He's like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow, man? He's like, tell you what, show up in my office and we'll listen to it together. So I'm like, bet, I'm in. So I show up with my church clothes on, man. And he puts this tape, man, this tape had collected dust on his desk. It was sitting there for so long. So he puts it in and we listen to it together, right? And he's kind of, going like this, and he's kind of like, all right. So the demo is over. He's like, so are you in college? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, so you in radio in college? I'm like, nah. I'm like, I'm already in it. I'm already on. So I don't feel like I need to go to school for this. He's like, that's a good point. He was like, well, I don't have anything on the hip hop station, but I can put you on in the country station, you know what I'm saying, just to like run the boards overnight, you know what I'm saying, just to get you. And I'm like, I can't do no country station, man. I'm like, I'm hip hop and R&B, bro. Like, I don't know, country, no. He's like, all right, well, that's all I got right now. And I was like, well, all right, I appreciate it. And, maybe something will open up later. So I get in the car to leave the interview, and I call that guy, Rob, that set up the thing. And I said, hey, man, I just want to let you know I left the interview. Just want to thank you again for, setting it up. And he's like, okay, well, what did he say? And I was like, oh, man, he thought my tape was good, but he only had something on the country station. He wanted me to work at the country station. And my guy's like, that's what's up, man. You in the door, bro. Congratulations, you in. And I'm like, no, I told him no. He was like, Catdaddy, it's not that type of business.
Yeah.
it's not that type of business where you pick and choose like, oh, I want to be on the morning show. Hey, I want to do overnights. Hey, I want to do weekends. I want to do. He's like, no, it's the type of business you get in and you change the trash can liners until they see how your work ethic is and they feel your personality and see if they can depend on you and how responsible you are. Are you showing up on time? Are you running around making excuses? I was like, damn, you right, bro. So I called Al J back. I said, Al J, man, I made a big mistake, bro. I'm going to go ahead and take that country job, bro. He's like, oh, no, the position's been filled. And hang right up on me. I was hurt, bro. Fucked up. Damn, I fucked up. So I called him a week later. Al J, what's up, man? It's Catdaddy. Who? And it's Catdaddy, bro. I know I messed up, man. I should have taken the country. Sorry, bro. There's nothing right now. Called him a month later. Hey, Al J, what's up, man? It's Catdaddy. I'm checking in, man. Y'all sound good, man. But y'all could, maybe a little flavor at night, bro. Maybe I could slide in and do something, Hey, man, you don't have to keep calling me. I got your number. When it's time, I got something for you. I'll give you a call, right? So I'm hurt, bro. This shit's going on for like 6 months, and I'm like, I'm out of there, I'm still in school, but I'm just like, the radio thing is just like, I'm still at the other station, but I really wanted to get on, and I just felt like I missed my opportunity. So one night, I'm listening to the radio, and they're giving away the Master P Ghetto D CD, Winter and Hour Weekend. A girl named Adrienne Long was on the radio. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I stayed up because I knew that at Winter and Hour, they do a winner every hour. They really mean that shit. So I won a CD like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The girl answers the phone. Max 94.1, you called number 9. Who is this? I was like, yeah, this is Catdaddy. I answered the phone and I won, but I answered and I'm I'm auditioning for the job. That's right. I know what I got. Ghetto D CD, baby. That's right. I'm a big Master P fan. Whoop de hooty hoo, whatever. I'm just on the radio talking on the phone as a winner, but I'm trying to audition like you doing right here, like you showing your stuff. So that's what I was doing as a winner, and she was like, yeah, so, man, that was pretty cool, you excited. I'm like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I've been trying to get on up there, but Al J she's like, nah, you got to keep staying on him. You got to stay on him, keep calling him. He wants people that really want, he don't want nobody that don't want to be here. So you just keep showing interest. So she gave me she gave you some game. She gave me some game. She was like, stay on, and I'll forever be grateful to Adrienne Long. And so sure enough, when I go pick up my CD, the lady at the front desk, I said, look, I know I'm here just to pick up the CD, but if Al J's here, I would love to speak to Al J. I think I would be cool if I talked to him. She's like, okay, that's fine. He's coming out right now. And I turned around, and he's walking out the hallway. And before I could say anything to him, bro, he looked me dead in the eye and said, Catdaddy, what you doing Sunday night? I need somebody to work Sunday night. Just like that. Just like that, bro.
That's crazy. Persistence.
Crazy. Bro, because I won the fucking CD, and I show up to pick my CD. Wow. And so he pulls me into his office. He's like, all right, look, this is what we're going to do. Midnight to 6. You'll come in Sunday night at midnight, work till 6 in the morning on Monday. Can you do that? Because what time you go to school? I was like, 8 o'clock. He's like, cool, you got time to get to class. You get off at 6, you'll be at class at 8. He's like, I need 2 weeks for free. You just work for free, you just audition. You know what I'm saying? Just they want to test you. I'll make sure you're not cursing on the radio. Make sure you're not fucking off, playing crazy shit. Can you stick to the script? Can you know what I'm saying, stick to the clock? Can you play the game? And so I was like, all right, man, I won't let you down. You're going to love it, bro. So after the 2 weeks, I called him that Monday. I was like, so what's up, man? Am I in? He was like, oh, bro, I forgot to listen. I'm not going to lie.
Just playing with you. Just so playing with your top, man.
So he's like, give me one more week. Give me one more week and I'll check it out. And so that following Sunday, I worked from midnight to 6. And he calls me like halfway through my shift. And he's like, all right, man, tomorrow morning, come see me in my office. So got back from school and I showed up at his office. And I was like, all right, so what's up? He was like, all right, man, we're going to put you on. We're going to put you on, but stop trying to be so cool. Like, you don't have to do, anything extra. And I'm like, I understand. I was just trying to show you all my tricks. I'm just trying to show I'm just trying to show you all my sauce. Like, just because I don't know what you're looking for. He's like, look, just say the songs, say what time it is, give away the tickets, read what we tell you to read, and just stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like, yo, just bring it here. We don't need you to be a fucking, Steve Harvey in the morning. We don't need you to be Dee Dee in the morning and be the joke and we just hey, just be the DJ, just be the host. The music is the star. Stay out the way type conversation. And so I was working 8 shifts a week within 2 months.
Wow.
8 shifts a week. So I was doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday during the day, and then again Sunday at midnight. So it was, yeah.
It was intense.
It was intense. 8 shifts a week and going to school, but I was polishing my craft. They were giving me so many reps late at night when you really comfortable. Not a lot of people running in and out in the station. Not a lot of commercials, so the music flow was real strong. I was one of the only live DJs in the city. Everybody else was like automated and just running computers at that time. So me putting live listeners on, interviews, and had a slow jam show. You know what I'm saying? It was hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it was real hard, but it was, a period. You talk about being in Baton Rouge, it was a period in growth for the entire city. You know what I'm saying? As far as the rap scene and as far as the industry, Cash Money and No Limit was coming on at the same time. This was, Cash Money was No Limit had been popping. 98. You know what I'm saying? 97, 98. Then Cash Money came on 99, 2000. So that was right when the wave, we was riding that wave. So we would have Cash Money in the studio like it wasn't nothing. We'd have No Limit in the studio like it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I used to work at a restaurant right across the street from No Limit Studios. Like I knew No Limit dudes from a restaurant I used to work at.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew all them dudes, man. Especially like Beats by the Pound, KLC, and Moby Dick, and Serve On, and C Murder, and Silk, and Fiend, and Mystical. Like Mia X, I would see them like while they would come to the restaurant I was working at. And then they were like, dang, you work at the radio station? And so then they start coming, doing interviews, doing drops. And that was a cool time. That was a cool time for me, man.
That's fire. So from there, you then transition. How do you get the opportunity to join K104?
Oh, yeah. K104 was slick, man. So, before like the internet really took over, record reps had to physically bring the music from city to city. The record reps for each record label, let's say Interscope or Universal or Warner or whatever, whoever it was, like they would go from city to city. They would have record reps that go. They go to Little Rock, they go to Shreveport, they go to Baton Rouge, they go to New Orleans, they go through Houston, they come to Dallas, and they make a route in their region. This was, I guess, Southwest region, what they call it. So there was a guy named Romero Hartfield, and he was one of the record reps. Man, there was Leslie Wyatt, LC, Olden. I mean, I can name Colleen. There was so many record reps that I would see on a regular basis because they were always at the station with their records. And so they began to see me and my personality and see me interact with celebrities because they would bring artists and we would do interviews. And so a guy named Romero Hartfield, he would touch base with me every time he came to the city. Man, I'm just driving through, bro, and you sound good on the radio, bro. Like, you sound really good, man. I'm just letting you know we checking you out, man, passing through. You know what I'm saying? Because he worked for Interscope at the time. And so every time he passed through, he would call me, hey, man, I'm just checking you out again, bro. And then sometimes we'd see each other at the events and stuff. And then one night, I'll never forget, he called me. He's like, say, bro, you need to get to a major market. He was like, I think you're ready for a major market, bro. And I was like, well, wow, what do you mean major market? Like, what are you talking about? I am major market. Like, what are you talking about? I'm hanging out with Lil Wayne and No Limit. And I'm getting girls. Like, this is major. Like, but, I'm making $8 an hour. And I'm still living at home. And he's trying to put it in perspective for me. Like, no, bro, you can really go somewhere and you can really make some major money in a big city. And, that part was really kind of overwhelming for him to say that to me, but that had me thinking, like, damn, maybe I do owe it to people that believe in me and people that gave me these opportunities. Like, there's a reason why dude came to McDonald's. There's a reason why dude hired me after, these opportunities. So let's take it to another level. Let's go to Dallas, man. I don't know another DJ that left Baton Rouge and, was doing it big. So that'll be good for me to set that benchmark. Say, like, yo, you can get to a major market if you're from Baton Rouge, if you grew up here, and you can still, And so then I started doing my research. where did I want to go? What major market did I want to be a part of? And I started getting air checks from other cities. So if I knew somebody in Atlanta, or if I knew somebody in Florida somewhere, or San Francisco, or in Dallas, I would call them and say, hey, do me a favor. You got a jam box and a cassette player? I want you to record 2 hours of whatever's on the radio out there. Just put it on the radio and record. And then when it's done, flip it over, record the other side, and then send me those tapes. So that way I kind of got a feel of what I could fit in, which market, and how my personality and my energy would fit on the radio. So that way I knew where to ask to speak to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Man, that was how I got on. So I started doing research. And I just felt like Dallas was a easier fit for me. Major market, closer to home. You know, there wasn't like a set sound. There wasn't like a set, voice or a set, flavor from Dallas to where I felt like I could stand out easier. You know what I'm saying? Like Atlanta, I felt like, okay, it's already got its kind of like its vibe going. Miami or wherever, it's already kind of got its thing. The Bay Area is kind of, got the West Coast thing. It's kind of far away. I wouldn't mind moving to San Francisco, but Dallas is close to home. Boom-de-boom. I say, let me shoot for Dallas. And then I told Romario when I was ready, I was like, look, man, I think I'm ready. I want to go to Dallas, bro. He's like, all right, let me know. I'll introduce you to Skip Cheatham whenever you're ready. And so I was like, all right. So then I started working on my air check. Like just chopping and chopping, putting up my best work down, making sure the music was tight, making sure the energy and the calls and everything was just precise. And so it probably took me 3 or 4 months to put together a project that I would stand out and say, look, this is what I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years, man, down in Baton Rouge, and I want to come do it for you. And I wanted to say that with confidence. Like, I don't care, you push play on this shit, bro. If y'all don't get a job off of this, I ain't nothing left. It ain't gonna happen. And so I put the air check together, and I was actually going to fly out to L.A. because one of my good friends is Shaquille O'Neal, so I was going to fly to L.A. So instead of flying directly to L.A., I had a connecting flight in DF-Dub. So I flew to DF-Dub, and Romario picked me up from the airport. He's like, we're going to see Skip right now. And I'm like, right now? We're going to go see Skip? I thought we were just going to hand this off, and then you give it to him. He's like, no, we're going to go see him right now. I'm like, oh, shit. I started getting nervous, right? So he's like, yeah, I think he's working out. I'm like, we're going to go see him at the gym? So he pulls up at Addison Circle, and there used to be a gym, I don't know if it's still there, but there's a gym in Addison Circle. And we parked across the street, and we watched Skip Cheatham run on this treadmill for Skip probably did 3 or 4 miles on this treadmill. At least it felt like 3 or 4 miles on this, because that's how long I was waiting. I was just watching him, just on this treadmill, like, oh my God, this dude on this treadmill is about to, change my life maybe. He has the power to pick me, to choose me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, I just can't believe, like, this is what you pray for, these opportunities, these spaces in time where you're prepared, and, your experience and your wisdom is going to give you that confidence, your discipline, to say, you know what, this is what I've been working for, you know what I'm saying? These people believed in me. I put my, my game in play, and worked on my craft, and asked questions, and learned from people that were better than me and smarter than me, people that I grew up listening to. And so Skip finally comes off the treadmill, and Romario flashes his lights in his navigator. Flashes his lights, and he kind of waves to Skip, and Skip comes on over, and we get out the truck. And he was like, hey, this is the guy I was telling you about, Catdaddy from Baton Rouge. He was like, what's up? I'm like, what's up, man? How are you? He's like, yeah, I'm Skip Cheatham. Nice to meet you. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you got something for me? I'm like, yeah. And I hand him the CD. And I'm like, yeah, man, this is the best 5 minutes I got, man. So, when I've been working on, 4 or 5 years. So check this out, man. I want to come up here when I graduate. He's like, all right, well, let's go listen to it. I'm like, oh, shit, right now? He's like, yeah, let's jump back in the truck. So we get back in the truck, and he puts the CD in. And we listen to the whole thing, bro. Like 3-5 minutes or whatever it is. And he's like this, just kind of like, shaking his head. He's like, all right, bro, I'll check it out, and I'll think about it, man, and I'll, what I'm saying, we'll see if we can't make a move. So I'm like, damn, bro, that was crazy, Wake up the next morning, and I fly to L.A. When I land in L.A., there's a message on my voicemail. It's Skip Cheatham. Hey, yo, Skip, Catdaddy, look, man, when you graduate, man, we're going to move to Late Night Creep. That was the name of my show, The Late Night Creep. He's like, when you graduate, man, we're gonna move to late night creep to D-Town. Give me a call, man, so we can set it up. Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so I didn't even graduate yet in college. You know what I'm saying? That was Easter week, and so we graduated later that May, June. I didn't even walk in my graduation. Once I finished my classes, I was gone. I was gone. And you know, I was just my parents, like in my family, they just couldn't believe that shit, bro. They were like, "What are you gonna do when you graduate?" I was like, "I'm gonna get a job, you know, somewhere with this radio thing." Somebody said they know somebody, and I'm gonna talk to about 3 or 4 people, and if nothing happens, then I'll, you know, come back here and start a business. But you know, I think I got something. And so, like, you have to talk to my dad now, and he's just still like, I can't believe all this is from a 30-second interaction at McDonald's. But it comes from something other than that. It comes from wanting to be in front of class and talk to kids at the talent show. It comes from wanting to read announcements at school. It comes from walking through the neighborhood and meeting people. It comes from all those experiences. You said it, like people that you thought were cool, you know, learning from them. People that you think are assholes, learning what not to do. Learning how to be in front of crowds, learning how to make somebody feel special, you know what I'm saying, on a brief encounter, or just chance, you know, right place, right time. And so, you know, I didn't miss many of those opportunities, you know what I'm saying? And there was one opportunity that me and my mom were walking through the mall, and there's a radio station set up, a country radio station. I was probably like 10 or 12 years old. And the dude was like, "All right, I got 2 Kenny Rogers tickets right now. 2 Kenny Rogers tickets. Cajun 103. I forgot what station it was. Cajun 103. I need somebody to stand up on this table right here and do a cheer for LSU, and I'll give you 2 Kenny Rogers tickets for tonight." My mom was like, "Okay, good. Do it. Like, I'm the outgoing guy. I'm the
Mr. Vibes.
I'm Mr. Vibes. So, bro, before I could make up my mind, because I got nervous. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have nothing planned. Before I could make up my mind, this other dude jumped up on the table. "Hey, 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1. Oh, for the Tigers, stand up and holler." And there's like 6 people in the fucking... And the dude gets down from the table, and the DJ hands him his tickets. And my mom gave me the ugliest look ever. I'll never forget that. Sometimes you learn things from the opportunities you don't take as well. And so that means something to me, and it also means something to when I'm in that situation and I'm giving away something. Because I want those people to challenge themselves to be, you know, uncomfortable. And I don't want you to just have a giveaway. I want you to win a prize. I want you to be in this space. So you say, every time I put on this shirt, man, I remember I did a cartwheel at the mall for this shirt. Remember you did a cartwheel for this shirt? We was at the thing, and Catdaddy, you know what I'm saying, made you sing rap lyrics or whatever it was.
They remember them all.
Yeah, that's the type of things, because I remember those moments. And, you know, yeah, I think you stack those events, man, and I could tell you, bro, 100 more stories just like that, man, of people that, you know, just say something to you or believe in you, and make you think like, dang, I really have an influence. I really have a little bit of a power over somebody's emotion, or make somebody feel some type of way. Why would you waste that? Why would you want to waste that on some dumb shit? Make them, you know, say something to make them laugh, or make something, have a good taste in their mouth. No diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the opportunity to enrich somebody's life. Don't do it with negativity, you know what I'm saying? Share the light, and understand that these moments are precious, and they can create those moments for everybody else. You know, surprises and stuff like that is really key, man. You know?
So now you're in the business for about over 17 years,
Shit.
almost 20 years plus.
Yeah. So
How has the business evolved to you?
Oh my God, bro! Like, man, I've seen it all, bro. Like, I used to record phone calls on reel-to-reel machine. I used to play records. I used to play CDs. I used to play the 8-track carts. Oh yeah, man. Like, computer, no. Like, see how we just sitting here and this computer's doing all the work while I'm not paying attention? No, none of that, bro. You had to be right there. You play a 3-minute song on CD, you better be there when that shit rolls out, or there's gonna be nothing on the radio. Yeah, that's the technology is woo. And then the influence of radio is much different now. So different now because radio used to be the only place you really hear new music. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't all these outlets. Now radio is like the last place you hear new music. Yeah, YouTube, Spotify, Pandora. Man, this is before Napster, and you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that was it. Radio was like the only thing. So the radio influence over artists, you know what I'm saying, has went away as well, because the artists really needed radio to push their singles. The record labels, the artists really needed the record labels, and the record labels needed the radio. Now it's like artists don't need nobody. You know, NBA YoungBoy, all-time YouTube stream. I don't think we play one NBA YoungBoy song on the radio or two. You know what I'm saying? And so just the way people listen to music is just, man, just infinite ways to listen to music. If you want to hear your favorite song, chances are you're not going to tune on the radio. You're going to pull it up on your iTunes. You're going to pull it up on, when I want to hear something, I go to YouTube. I type it in, and then I listen to it. Then there's remixes, there's instrumentals, there's the acapella, there's the redos, there's a piano version, there's the, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, radio is completely, but it's still the best free entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's still a platform for community, a terrestrial pillar in the community where people go to and say, wow, like these are voices, these are people that we know are, you know, positive personalities in the city, in the classroom, in the streets. Not only do we, you know, pump up the party, not only are we getting live, but we also in your classroom, and we also giving you good game. And I think that's really where I get my fulfillment, is being able to spend time with kids and with community, and just sharing, you know, my wisdom with them, and being able to just say, hey, man, my dreams came true just because I showed up every time. Just keep showing up for whatever it is you want to do. Like, don't see the show, be the show. Keep showing up. What do you want to do? You want to play football? All right, well, hit the weights, run the routes, go see the coaches, play in the games. You're going to sit on the couch and tell me you want to play football? That ain't going to work. You know, you want to be a doctor? I'll go to school. Learn that shit. Take the test. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a radio host? Okay, cool. Start a podcast. Cut that microphone on and talk your shit. Spread the word. Let people see what you do. Get some feedback and perfect your craft. Polish your skills. Showcase your shit. Brand it. Stand behind it. And then continue to grow and learn and network and build. You know? That's that's what we've learned as the evolution of radio, you know, continues. Like, yo, you have to be everywhere. You can't just be here. That don't work no more. You know, you got to be online. You got to show your shit.
Most definitely. So I guess my final question, just because I know we have time constraints, what is next for Catdaddy? I know you got Catdaddy Trucking and Towing.
Yep.
Would you like to tell the people a little bit about that?
Yeah, so during Corona, man, I started my trucking company. And because, you know, like I said, we weren't going to schools during Corona. We weren't showing up at clubs, you know, so there was a lot of free time. And it was a good opportunity for me to invest in my first business. I never ran a business, never ran anything since I've been 17 except my mouth, you know. And so I went and bought my first truck. And just, it's just a consent. I don't do repos. I don't do like tow your shit out the apartment complex in the middle of the night. I don't do none of that. I'm the good guy. Roadside assistance, flat tire, dead battery, transport. Like tonight I got to leave and I got to go get my trailer because I got a guy, he wants me to tow his motorcycle tomorrow. So I'm getting that set up for tomorrow. But yeah, so just driving around in the truck, I have the tools to help out in pretty much all situations. So if you're stranded on the side of the road or if you need help, I can pull up, I can help you, save the day, and make some money. And people that know me and follow me have been supportive about it. And then we call Catdaddy, man. Catdaddy got the tow truck, you know. And so I got cameras set up in my truck. So I got episodes coming soon on YouTube once I get the paperwork set up for the YouTube, just to get the back end so the money comes in right. You know, I'm learning about that as well on the internet side. But yeah, it's just been absolutely amazing. You know, it's expensive. The truck is expensive. The tires, the gas, the licensing. It's dangerous on the side of the road. But just that just that way to find a connection. Like we talk about right place, right time. Like, man, somebody needs me out there on the side of the street. They need me to come and save the day. You know, it's a mom with 2 kids in the back, and you know, their car, you know, won't run. So they need me to get them to safety and get them to the shop and, you know, get them home comfortable. And I feel like it's kind of like that same connection, you know what I'm saying, that I seek through radio. It's the same type of, man, I have an opportunity to be in this space right now and make some money too. It's been really dope. So yeah, check me out, Catdaddy Tow and Trucking and Catdaddy's Tow Show coming soon on YouTube. I got a foundation as well. Actually started the foundation before the trucking business. It's called School is Cool Foundation, because the fact is, for a lot of these kids, school ain't cool. But, you know, it's not about trying to get in the classroom and learn a lot of things. It's about the experience and learning what is cool, the friends that you make, the teams that you're on, you know, your cheerleading squad, cutting up in the cafeteria, your coaches and your faculty that believe in you and give you a good game. That's what's cool about it, building your character and finding out, you know, which one of these, you know, extracurricular activities you really like and how smart are you. Do you like science more than math, or, you know, you more into the arts like I was, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to, you know, be a performer? And so that part of school is cool. So I just try to encourage kids to, no matter what, you know, education level they're on, like show up with a good attitude every day and understand, like, you know, you're building your life, you're creating, you know what I'm saying, your story. And so try to be conscious of your decisions and be conscious of, you know, what you expose yourself to and you know, what you put your energy and your time behind, because that's really what's going to, you know, shape your future.
Most definitely. And if people want to tap in with you, find you, you know, learn more about what you do, where can they go to do that?
Yeah, man, you can tune in every night, K104 Nightlife Show, 7 to midnight. Catch me on IG at Catdaddy104 and on YouTube, the Catdaddy Tow Show coming soon. Them episodes gonna have y'all laughing y'all ass off, man. The wild shit goes on in the tow truck sometimes, man. And so I want y'all to get a little insight to, you know, what goes on. Just while the business is going on, there's a whole nother story that's happening actually in the truck. So tune into Catdaddy Tow Show on YouTube. Check it out.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, Catdaddy, for tapping in with us. Like I said, if y'all like what y'all just heard, make sure y'all follow Talk Ain't Cheap Network, Talk Ain't Cheap Podcast. Make sure y'all follow yours truly, Mr. Clee's for Talk, a.k.a. Immaculate Clee. If you know, you know. And like I said, before we go, I usually don't ask this question, but just because we in the presence of greatness, I really have this last question.
Okay.
What do you want Catdaddy to be known for? Like, when it's all said and done, when you've hit all these pillars in your life, what is the one thing that you want people to remember about Catdaddy?
Man, just that I was cool, man. Like, and I'm really not cool. I'm really corny. Like, you can ask anybody. I'm really corny. But if somebody thinks that I'm cool, then I feel like I've done my job, man. Like, damn, that motherfucker was cool. Then yeah, that's what's up.
Fire. Like I said, y'all tuned in and Talk Ain't Cheap, and y'all know the slogan. It's not that deep. It's a vibe.